Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llamma. This is game number 3 between Team Epic, who has Crabtastic spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner, and his opponent is going to be Twitter's Caesar the Red Protoss spawning up in the top left-hand corner. The map is Star Station, and it is a station moving. Look at that. Look at that. It's got like little headlights and stuff. Yeah, it's confusing, but I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I love the detail that they really have added into this game. So it looks like we have some fun hashtags going on here between our two players. Oh, okay. I get why. Now I finally understand why he was doing hashtags and saying follow, because he's playing Team Twitter. Duh, that makes sense, Mr. Llamma. Okay, somebody's a little bit slow today. So, as I said, the map is Star Station. Something I kind of want to point out is, just like I said in the last game, taking a third is kind of a little difficult. Look at trying to take a third in this game. You either got this bad boy out here with all of this open space, all of these possible ways to get over to your third base, or you're taking this third over here, which has giant ramps entering. So, and it's down the hill, and I mean everything like that. So, I don't know. I feel like if I were a Protoss player, I would be a little scared to take a third base on this map. I think I would be going for a big two-base hit. There's a lot of great two-base timings. You have the Immortal Sentry all in with the Mothership Core, which is super strong. You could possibly do a lot of like something with like airplay maybe. But then again, if they have Hydras, maybe there's like some Colossus push that people could start coming back with. I don't know. That's just kind of what I personally would do right there, but we'll have to see what exactly Caesar does choose to do. Maybe he goes for a really fast third base and it works because it doesn't get scouted. Either way, Caesar is kind of put in a tough position because they need to win this game at this point. As we saw in the previous two games, Epic is up 2-0 at this point. So Crabtastic looking to close it out. Caesar looking to be a savior right here and keep them in it, take them to a game 4. But Epic so strong with their undefeatedness. And I was saying that I think they're 3-0 this season and they're 15-0 overall. But I think I was lying to you because I think this is week number 3. So I think they're only 2-0 this season and they're 14-0 overall. And Twitter is 1-1 this season. I think that's how it is. So hopefully I can get all of that sorted out later, and we're going to get a little wall off right here from our player Caesar. Going to be dropping a Cybernetics core down, I would imagine, right around there. And we'll have to see if Crabtastic's going to take a third base. Is that drone going out? Yes, it is. And he will take the third base over here. So just like I was saying how it's difficult for a Protoss player to take a third base, the Zerg's got a pretty distant third as well. And then additionally, there's a lot of paths that the Protoss can kind of come in through. If he has like a pylon over here, he can warp in, bring some units in, at least for harass over there. But I mean, it does have a decent amount of open space. So I would say overall, I feel like this map is a little more Zerg favored, which is, you know, it happens. Some maps just tend to be favored towards races. I don't think there's any map that has a perfect 50-50 percent, anything like that, win ratio between races. Just like Entomb Valley is a little bit more favored towards a Protoss because they can get that fast, very easy third base. So that being said, it's not the end of the world. Just like there's some minor race things, and that was something I think that I was reading about today. Was how people, you know, always complaining about balancing, you know, with balance wines, and they're complaining about maps and all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, I mean, if you look at the top level, I mean, people make it work, right? It's not the end of the world. It's not like this is Protoss has a button where they can be like, all right, I press E and the game ends and I get a victory. Then I would say, yeah, okay, you probably have a case for there to be a little bit of whining. But I mean, overall, I feel like the game is pretty decently balanced. And there's just, you know, little minor things here and there that just kind of make you have to play a little differently. So poor Ling does fall to his death. And that is a bloody little carcass right there as it melts into the ground. Zealot now going to start pushing out as well. Going to absolutely slaughter that Zergling. So cool, all the death animations that they have. And head on over to at least the watchtower, maybe to go for a full scout into the base, because I don't think he knows if his opponent has a third base yet. No, he does not. So he has not scouted that, and that's generally something that you see. And look at this, very fast lair right here out of our player, Crabtastic. So grabbed that around 640 actually. Very, very early. Additionally grabbed a pretty fast Evo Chamber and Roach Warren, and he did grab 3 gas right there, so that made it possible, and we'll have to see if he's going to get a fast upgrade, maybe get like a Carapace upgrade, something like that, as of course he has a lot of gas stockpiled, and I'm very curious to see what exactly he's going to do. Yeah, so grabbing the Carapace upgrade right now, going to continue droning, gets an Overlord in for a scout, sees the Stargate, and a Twilight Council gets thrown down right underneath the Overlord. So generally, as a Protoss player, like, you know what, I'm going to hide this. I'll put this over here. I'll throw this over here. You know, you kind of like hide your tech. Nope, Caesar's like, here it is. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going Stargate, and I'm getting a Twilight Council, even though your Overlord's right above it. I'm just throwing it down underneath. And Mr. Overlord escapes safely. So how many times do you get to say that as a Zerg player? Do you get to be like, yeah, I sent a Scout Overlord in, and he went out the other side completely fine. Completely untouched. Crabtastic has that story. Do you? In the meantime, it looks like the Zealot going to be getting a scout in. Finally does see that there's a third base. Also sees that there are 6 gas at this time at the 850 mark. So that is a lot of gas that we're seeing coming out here from Crabtastic. And what's the tech of choice? He has Hydras right now on the way. He's getting Groove Spines first, getting that range upgrade. Of course, he can get speed later. And Roach Speed as well. So it looks like he's just going for a Roach Hydra sort of hit at this time. Really stockpiling a lot of gas though early, which will allow him to have a decent amount. Oh, there's a scout over there as well, and he's gonna escape back out in the back there. So which will allow him, of course, to have a ton of gas later when he wants to just mass up some Hydras, as they're not cheap. I mean, they're what, 150? Yeah, so there are 100 minerals and 50 gas for each of them, which of course is a lot more expensive than their 75-25 brothers of roaches. So if he stockpiles all this gas early, as long as there's no hit right now, I think he might be in an okay position. He has a little supply block though, as it looks like finally that Overlord did die due to the Void Rays, and now we're seeing all of the gateways going down right here. Caesar's like, you know what? I agree, Mr. Llamma. I don't want to take a third base on this map. I just want to end it right now. More gateways being added. How many gateways are we actually going to go up to is the question. We're already at 8 gateways with a Stargate, continuing to pump out these Void Rays, and he needs to be careful with these Voids though. He's like chilling outside this base. There's a lot of Hydras, I think. Yep, there's all the Hydras that have been pumped out. So they're just kind of waiting, and these Voids are going to get a little bit aggressive right here and start to push forward. I wouldn't do that. These Hydras have 3.37 move speed on creep right here, and he's going to continue to push forward. And uh-oh, that might be the end of our dear Void Ray friends, as the Hydras absolutely melt them right there. So much damage come out of Hydras. 12 damage a shot with 0.83 weapon speed. So lots of DPS. 2 more gates added on, because you know what? Let's just go for a 10 gate. Archons have been added into the mix. We do have Charge that has finished over here. Templar Archives right there. So we have a Charge Lot Archon +2. What did he kill off? He killed off his Forge actually. And the Archon still can't get out. So now he's going to have to kill off the cannon as well. Killing off pretty much all of his structures right there. Does have +2 though on these units. That's very, very nice to the simply +1 ground carapace that we see for our Zerg player. +1 attack weapon or attack upgrades for his range units about to finish. And we're gonna have a push out right here. And the charge out's going to start to move forward, but that is a scary arm right there from Crabtastic. Looks like he is going to drop a time warp, which is a good decision, going to allow his Archons and charge outs to really get in there and do some damage, prevent any kiting. Mothership core does go down. And I don't know if Caesar's going to have enough to fend this off. It looks like Crabtastic with his 1-1 upgrades now might be able to continue pushing forward right here, as this Archon will fall as well. I'm going to be taking out those Zealots, taking out the Pylons in the front right there. And we have some warp-ins. Yep, some more Zealots warping in over here. We have some dancing changelings and hydras and roaches for Crabtastic. He is saying, you know what, Epic wants another victory. They want to stay undefeated, get a shutout right here, but he's not going to quite be able to do that yet. Here comes some reinforcing roaches, though. Should be able to help him out, and the Chargelot's doing whatever they can, but there's just simply not enough of an army, and this changeling's just having a fun time over here, having a little dance party. So Hydra, Roach, such a great composition, especially when you're going up against no Colossus. It looks like Caesar might be able to push back a tiny bit, but every time that he pushes back the Zerg army, there's another swell of units right here, and without any force fields or anything like that, he's simply sitting on this Chargelot Archon army, and now Crabtastic pushes into this choke where all of these Chargelots are just stuck running behind each other. More changelings being thrown down. We'll see if it starts dancing a little bit later. But some roaches continuing to stream in. This is just a never-ending stream of Roach Hydra to his opponent's base right here, and I think in the end Caesar is just going to run out of units to defend, as it looks like Crabtastic is just pushing in closer and closer with more and more units. There is less and less that Caesar really has to defend right here. This is his last Archon standing, trying to do whatever it can, going to fall. The Zealots not really with anything left to do, and GG from Caesar. That is going to be it. Crabtastic is going to take it for his team. Epic 3-0. They take this series right here against Team Twitter, so they're going to continue their undefeated journey, and Twitter unfortunately going to drop to I think 1-2. But you know what? This is a very tough opponent, having to go up against Epic in Week 3, so I'm sure they will be able to bounce back in Week 4 and have get back to even, and maybe, you know, get themselves back up in the win after that. So with that being said, thank you everybody for watching. It was so much fun casting. My co-caster Laughing Man will be back next week, so you will be able to see both of us. I'm sorry it was just me for today, but like I said, he's moving to the States. He's going to be going into a gaming house. I'm super jealous of him. So yeah, thank you all for watching. My name is Mr. Llamma. I hope you guys enjoyed these casts, and I will see you guys next time.